Hey, welcome to New Burgers. Happy Thirsty Thursday. What's going on with you guys? Yeah, I know you guys are planning your brewing weekend. I know. But see, I'm not planning my brewing weekend. I'm enjoying my quiet time because I just had one of them fucking weeks at work. And thankfully, thanks to Donald Trump's new tax initiative, I got an extra $14 in my check this week. Woohoo! Guess, and the wife went to bingo. Only costed me $6 to send the wife to bingo tonight. There you go. Thanks, Donald Trump. Thank you. All right. Oh, I forgot about my rule. No politics or religion when we're talking about brewing and we're on BrewTube or we're on Google Hangouts or we're doing a Thirsty Thursday, get it in you Saturday or Homebrew Wednesday, all that. No politics, no religion. It's all about brewing and good times. This is what I'm telling you. How'd you guys like me and my son? You know what? I couldn't be more proud as a father. That boy is fairly smart. You know what I mean? He's a lot smarter than I was when I was his age. He's got his shit together, and he's going to make me a grandfather. How about that? Yeah. So, love it. We're gonna start doing a monthly thing called Brew and Review. We're going to get together. We're going to brew a beer, and then we're going to review a beer that we've done before that. When one comes out and we brew another one. When one comes out of the fermenter and we brew another one. When that beer's ready, we're going to review it while we brew that day. So that's going to be kind of cool. I'm going to enjoy that, and it's a once a month thing for me and my son. Because any more than that, we'd be fucked up all the time, and his wife would get on. Yeah, my wife would definitely get on mine. Matter of fact, she got mad at us the other night because we were right here too late. But anyway, what do I got going on? Oh well, of course, a shitty week at work. It's payday, so this is my Friday. Thirsty Thursdays, and the wife, most of the time goes to bingo, but we've been kind of strapped lately, so ain't been that many Thirsty Thursdays. Right now I'm working on the second half of the keg because me and my son polished off half the keg last weekend. This is just so freaking good. And at 7.6%, it'll get you in trouble because it got my son in trouble. Got me a whole bunch of because I got my son in trouble. So, he's a grown man, I didn't twist his arm. I did tell him to go to hell home. I called his wife to come get him because I didn't want him to drive, but he didn't listen. So anyway, so what do I got going on? What do I got planned? Let's see. Well, I got some more specialty grains, some things that I needed. I got some Crystal 60. That's going to go into my version of the Amber Ale because I'm going to do it my way. See how it turns out as compared to Stubby's, which is very good, by the way. You can't go wrong with that recipe. That's what's in the fermenter right now that you saw in the last video. My son shined it down and shit. And yeah, and then I got me some Caramunic Type 1 I need for my fest beer. And I got the Victory Malt because I need that for my Amber Ale. And instead of using 2-row or pale ale, I'm going to use Pilsner malt for my Amber Ale. Yep. I got all the. Do I have the hops for that? Yes, I do. I have a couple 1-ounce packs of hops in there. I also got another 8 ounces of Hallertau Mittelfrüh and got some Tettnang because I need that for the KV2, and I need both of these for the fest beer. So, do I have the Mount Hood and the Cascade? I don't think I do. No. Oh shit! I got to order me some Cascade and Mount Hood. I do for my Amber Ale. So, what's coming up next? Well, Dino. Yeah, I believe it was Dino from down in Australia, or is it New Zealand? I can't remember. But he forwarded me a Vienna lager recipe. I'm going to write this down into a format, because I got all the ingredients here and the hop additions and all that. I'm not gonna lager this because that takes too fucking long. And as much as I like a lager, it just takes too long. And ales are just as good to me as lagers are. I mean, lagers are really good. I like that sulfur, and You know what I mean? That crisp cleanness and all. I really do. But I don't feel like waiting a month to 2 months. I really don't. And beers around here really don't last that long between my son-in-law, me, and now my son. And, you know, if I get a couple guests over or whatnot, they want some too. And I can only have 15 gallons in the Keezer at one time. So you polish one off, you're working on the next one. So anyway, I think I'm going to do the Vienna. I mean, this is a sound recipe. I think Dino won medals on this, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think he won a couple medals on this. So I'm going to do this as a mock Vienna instead of a lager. I have all the ingredients for that. This is a solid recipe. I know I'll get 6% out of this just by the pounds of malt that are in it. I mean, 5 pounds of Vienna, 3 pounds of Munich, and 3 1/4 pounds of Pilsner. Yeah, I will definitely get 6% out of that. That's 11 pounds of grain right there. Yes, sir. 11 pounds and a quarter. Math don't lie. Hop additions. Yeah. 1.5 ounces of Hallertau at 60 minutes and a 1/2 ounce at 10 minutes. That's it. You know I'm going to put more hops in this, right? Oh, yeah. I am. I see, oh, no, I think I see some Saaz hops in this. I don't know. Maybe. Because I think I still got like 6 ounces of Saaz. I do. I don't know. I'll think about that. I don't know. I just might stick to the recipe and see how that is first. Because the man won medals on this. How can you go wrong with it? So, anyway. Yeah, we're going to do the Vienna, and then I want to do a fest beer, and then I think we're going to do an American wheat. Because someone wants to do a version of a Hoegaarden, and that's all well and good. I'll see if he wants to do something that's close to a Blue Moon with a little bit more ass to it. I think if I do an American wheat and throw some chamomile and some coriander and some bitter orange peel up in it, I think that'll be pretty good. And I was looking at that grain bill. I can do something with it too. I can make it all mine. So we'll work that out. But that's about 2 brews from now. About another month and a half, 2 months before we get to that, because I got a brew schedule here and I got lots of grains here I need to use up first before I start getting into wheat and all that kind of stuff. So, and a wheat beer will be good. I mean, it'll be close to about springtime anyway, and a good wheat beer. Yeah, springtime wheat beer. Yeah, nice and crisp, along with the weather. Sounds good. Oh, shout out to Tim for 8-Bit Chicken. You know, he put something out there like let's swap recipes and get our viewers up and get more subscribers and all that. Because right now I'm like stuck at 151 and I forget the number that Tim's at. But we need to get more people subscribed to our channels. And Tim's a really good guy, man. He does homesteading and all that kind of stuff, and a really solid brewer. And I think more people should be checking him out and subscribing to him. And not to mention, he's pretty fucking entertaining. I mean, he's not an old fart like me. He's a little bit younger. You know what I mean? He's got more stamina. I mean, I'm only good for like maybe a 15-minute video. I'm sure he could probably go for 20 minutes. I don't know. So, anyway. Yeah, that seems to be like a good thing going on. And I just gotta, when I come home from work, when I kick off the boots, I don't feel like doing anything except for today because it's payday and I get a little bit of me time and the old ladies at bingo. But yeah, Tim, I think I would like to swap some recipes. I mean, I think it'd be pretty cool. I want to shout out to Thrash Metal Brewing too, because I watched you brew the KV1. You know, my Colster version 1, and that's gonna be a good drinking beer there. And the Crystal hops, you was right on time with that. I think me and Rob we did the Saaz hops additions after that, but you did the Hallertau Mittelfrüh, and that's gonna be a good beer. It's gonna be more of an earthy kind of thing going on with it, not as spicy as the Saaz. We usually do 2 hop additions after that, but the one you really want to do is the recipe I need to forward to you, Brian. It's called, I call it the KV2. Kolsch version 2, but the KV2 is just kind of like a cool name and kind of sticks with it. And yeah, I'm going to have to forward you that recipe. There's a little bit of crystal malt in that. I think I add a little bit more melanoidin to it. It's still, I can't remember off the top of my head, but instead of the crystal, Rob, he said like, fuck it, he didn't have the crystal, couldn't get the crystal, and he threw Hallertau Mittelfrüh up into it the first time. you know, for the first hop edition. I want a different root. I threw Tettnang in there. Either or is good for the first hop edition, and then it was Saaz and Saaz, man. And I'm telling you, that beer turned out wonderful. It's got a great malty taste to it with the Saaz, with the enough bitterness that the Tettnang or the Middle Fro gives to it, and then the Saaz and the spice. I mean, everything works well together. It's like all the kids get along on the playground. They really do. And it turned out to be a really solid beer. And it didn't last long with Rob at his Thanksgiving party. I think Doug Dye, he enjoyed that too. He also enjoyed my fest beer. Shout out to Doug Dye. Forget the other guy's name. I think he's over in the UK. He's brewed that up. Yeah. And another guy just brewed up the Amber Ale. You should try that, Brian. You should try the Stubby's Texas Brewing. It's called Alamo Amber Ale. That's a solid recipe and a really good beer, 6 to 6.5%, depending on what kind of efficiencies you get. It's a 5-gallon batch. You should check it out, man. It's really good. And they got to come and brew it radio too, that everybody should check out, because them guys are pretty entertaining, and they talk about some pretty pertinent shit. So yeah. What else do I got going on? Man, mouth's getting dry. Hold on. Ooh, get it in you. I saw Brian got some new fittings from Thrash Metal Brewing, got some new fittings, and that just put a bug in my ass. I'm tired of hooking up my hoses the way I do. I want to get me some quick disconnects, because he got his from More Beer, and I get some of my stuff from More Beer too. It's right over in PA, and the shipping's really fast. In his last video, he said the same thing. I get mine between 1 to 3 days. You know, if I pay $7, I get it in like 2.5 days, 3 days. If I pay an extra $1, I get it in 1 day. So, you know, what the fuck's $1? And I'm only 1 state away. Boom! It's here. That's where I got this stuff from right here. All these. And the hops too. I usually get my hops from Yakima Valley, but it was a 2016 crop. I guess all the 2017 crop got balled up. I don't know. But I couldn't get what I wanted. So I went with More Beer, and the price was just about the same. Label peelers usually get a discount on their hops too, but you're usually getting the year before crop. I mean, it's all nitrogen sealed and all that, and very well kept. I haven't had a problem with them, label peelers. I don't know why I'm throwing out all these names, because I'm not getting no kind of kickback from them. I mean, you guys should send me stickers or something. I don't know, some coasters. More Beer will send you new stickers. I like to have some stickers. And I broke my More Beer glass, my $7 beer glass from More Beer. I ought to make my son pay for that, because I was trying to get him a glass, and it bobbled my hydrometer tube, and I wasn't going to break the hydrometer tube, so sacrifice the glass. So that was gone. I got a chance to drink out of that maybe 2 or 3 times, and boom. But whatever, doesn't matter. What else do I got? I don't know. I don't have too many things, except that the things that I want to do. I'm going to get some new hose hookups and all that. I'm going to have to get some more length of hose and all that kind of stuff for my shit and blah, blah, blah. Pretty soon I'll have to get another brew bag, because I already had to stitch 1 hole in it, but that's because when I stick it in my pot, with the metal spoon going around the edges of it, I got a little wear on it. I need 2 more ball valves, because I robbed my ball valves off my old mash tun and my brewing pot to put onto my plate chiller. Gotta upgrade some parts on that. I'm really thinking about getting the Grainfather water heater, you know, because that heats 4.5 gallons worth of water, as opposed to my 2 gallons of water that I do in my coffee urn, and it probably heats up quicker, and probably heat it up to a certain temperature. It's got a temperature control on it, as to where my coffee urn doesn't. It'll click off at 180 degrees. Sometimes I just want my water at 164. Sometimes I want it at 168, you know, and I would like to heat it up ahead of time, you know. As opposed to this, I got to time it like 20 minutes before I mash out to have my water heat up. You know, after my mash out, boom, I get to sparge, you know, and bring my shit up to level. That's the other thing I got to go through with you too, Brian, is that I got an all-in-one system here, and I usually go with a thin mash at 6 gallons of water for 12 pounds of grain. That's 2 quarts per pound. I don't know if you can fit that much into the system you got now, but I know the electric system that you're ready to hook up in your house, you could more than compensate for that. So we definitely got to get together and do some FaceTime or something like that, so I can explain how I do my recipe, and you won't fall short like you did on the Kolsch, but it's still going to turn out to be a good beer. I can guarantee you that, because I'm sure your numbers were a little bit better than what you thought they were going to be, as you know, whatever. So anyway, shout out to Electric Brewing, Brian. He's got some good shit going on too. Everybody on BrewTube and Homebrew Network and, you know, Multi Python, the Holy Ale, and just a bunch of great community we got going on here, and, you know, a lot of people who are educated, because I'm still a novice. I've only been doing this 2 years, and I'm learning as I go along and brewing by the seat of my pants. And knock on wood, I haven't had an infected, bad, undrinkable beer yet, and they've all been pretty good, and I've gotten pretty good reviews from them. So I guess maybe I can cook a little bit, because if you can't cook, I don't think you can brew beer. You know, you got to be able to cook a little bit. If it tastes good, it's good beer. Remember that. Don't let anybody tell you any different. There ain't no fucking rules in home brewing. You know what I mean? You ain't got to fit no guidelines unless you're in competition. Like I said, if it tastes good, it's good beer. That was another thing I was looking at on some of these you know, brewing related sites and stuff like that. You know, somebody says this, oh, you can't do this, you can't do that. No, you can do whatever the hell you want to do, as long as it's good beer. You know what I mean? If it tastes good and you ain't gonna dump it down the drain, it's good fucking beer. You can drink it, you know. If it tastes good to you and tastes good to your friends, who cares? You know, it ain't got to fit no style or guidelines. And one guy said, and it just hit right at home. It's like, you know what? Some of the best beers turned out from accidents, you know. That's just the way it is. You know what I mean? Oh, that's really good. Well, I don't know how I did that. That's why we all write notes down. Well, you guys use computers. I'm still old-fashioned. Everything goes down in the composition notebook when I do something. When I get an idea, I write down this many grains, or whatnot, and see how it works out, you know. So far, I've been pretty lucky. So, and I did a lot of homework on YouTube and all the brewing communities and stuff like that, and asked for advice, and I asked all them stupid questions that everybody else asked. Remember, there's no such thing as a stupid question, only the one you don't ask, okay? If anybody looks down your nose at you, you don't need to be wasting your time with them, because we all started somewhere. And same thing with extract brewing. You make good beers from extract, you really do. I mean, all grain, you got more control over what you're doing, you know what I mean? You do. But, you know, when I first started out, I started out with Mr. Beer Kits and all that, you know what I mean? And then I moved up to Brewer's Best and all that, and then I just started buying my own malt extracts and stuff like that, and said, you know, fuck it, I'm going all grain, you know? It got me, you know, a bag, and was doing propane until I went all electric, but, you know, to each his own. Anyway, that's all I got for this week, you know, Thursday, and I think not next weekend, but weekend after that, because me and the wife's going to pull a getaway and try to remember why we got married in the first place, get away from the household, and maybe go up Atlantic City and love each other, and come back and then deal with the animals and all the stress of the household. So it won't be next weekend. It'll be weekend after next. Me and my son will get together. We'll review the Amber and have a brew day. Until then, happy Thirsty Thursday, BrewTube and YouTube land, and remember, get it in you.